Right, good morning. Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. I'm fighting with the cat at the moment, she's just gone. We've got to do a pond, which I'm quite excited about actually. It'll be good fun. So what I've done is, just move all the junk out of the way, I've kind of angled my path to come across here. So I'm thinking this will be a perfect place to put a pond, and I like natural ponds. I've always had ponds in my gardens, not in this rented one, but when I've owned a house. So I'm going to do it so that it sort of comes down here, and you know, I've got this vision of sort of some rocks and bulrushes and that kind of thing. But I was just going to get a piece of blue fabric, but I thought I want to have a go at dyeing some, because I need two pieces, one for a project I've got over here, which is my Stitch Along With Me project, and then one for this. So I'm going to move this out of the way. I haven't done much. I didn't do anything else. That's the sunflowers. I've got these to stitch down. I thought I'd put a couple of paving slabs in front of the bench. Yeah, and I thought, you know, this would be quite nice to have that. I've only stuck them with my glue pen thing, so I can tuck the fabric under there and have it coming down. Anyway, right, that's enough rambling, Susan. So I've got a tray, and I've cut two pieces of just very soft. It's that old mattress cover that I showed you ages ago. Because there's so much of it, I should be getting loads of projects out of that, I should imagine. So yeah, I need two bits. So I'm just going to mess around with some inks. And I thought I'd show you. Because if you haven't got quite the right fabric, this is such an easy way to do it. You can do it with anything, watercolours, anything, because these aren't going to be washed, you know. I mean, these are just, you know, going to sit there. There is some old blue paint under there. I don't know if it'll come off. It doesn't matter if it does. So there we are. Right, I'm going to grab my chair. So the inks I'm going to use is ones that I've not really played with. I remember showing you I got these, the Seth Apter inks. So I've got Wet Meadow. Ultramarine might be a bit too dark, but we'll play with that. Stratosphere, which is a very pale blue. I don't know if you can see the colours. And then Atlantis, which is sort of a blue-green. So I'm thinking they'll make quite nice water. I think they're water... I think you can... I don't know, we're going to find out. I think you can thin them with water is what I'm trying to say. So I'm just going to damp this down just a little bit and see what we get. Obviously this is going to be a two-part. Well, I'll pause. I will stop the video and join them together when we actually get around to the stitching. So let's just see what we've got here, because I've not played with these at all. So yeah. Anyway, how are you all? It's the most gloomiest day ever here today. It was beautiful yesterday. The sun was glorious. Oh, it was just a really perfect spring day. It was nice and it was cool, but the sun was out, you know what I mean? That sort of perfect, for me anyway, perfect spring day. And today it is grey. It absolutely hammered it down earlier with rain. Yeah, so it's just miserable really, quite frankly, but that's the glory of England, I think. So we're so used to that sort of weather, aren't we? It doesn't bother us. Give it a little bit more water, try and get that to bleed a bit more, I think. So they are water soluble, so that's good, because I wasn't sure, I'll be honest with you. As I say, I've not played with these at all. That is the paint underneath, that is not this at the moment. I might have to really douse it with a load of water, I think. Because I really want it to fade. if it goes like that, but that is that paint underneath. That might wet and I don't know what it was. It's very naughty. I didn't clean my palette. But never mind. Perhaps we'll do this. Perhaps the other colours will come through. Who knows? It's quite a nice blue. I'll cover the whole pieces of fabric. And then we've got plenty to play with then. It's funny actually, Rachel was saying, you know, for those of you that have already done a pond, you can do a fountain. I don't know why people have raced ahead. Why would you do that? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't get the time. I do the prompt and that's it. And I think that's kind of what they wanted from everybody. But never mind. It is what it is. I'll tell you what, these would make cracking lilies, wouldn't they? I would do some little lilies on the pond. Nothing quite like a bit of water in a garden. It's lovely. I really wish they would fade. I don't want them to be dots, really. Don't mind the green being dots, because I say we can pretend they're leaves, but don't really want that blue to be that prominent. Ooh, that was a lot of paint. Is it a paint or is it an ink? I don't know. Is the simple answer to that one. I know it's for mixed media stuff because that's what Seth Apter does a lot of, doesn't he? They were going cheap, so I got them. You know me, if it's cheap, I'll have it. I see a lot of people using this stuff, so I thought I'd give it a go. Because until you've tried, you just don't know. Oh, if you haven't already, enter into the 3,000 subscriber giveaway. I've got one for junk journalers, well, more for junk journalers, and another one for stitchers. So if you're a stitcher, just make sure you read the instructions on the video that you need to put the words junk journal or stitching on your comment, basically, because I'll do the random comment picker at the end of the month, which isn't that far away, actually. Yeah, still blows my mind that I've got 3,000 subscribers. It's brilliant. Thank you very much. The cat's off. Oh, she's been a nightmare today. Of all the days that she decided to, excuse me for saying this, but she threw up all over my bed. I've had to wash my duvet, sheets, everything. So it's all drying at the moment. Luckily I've got like a porch that I can stand it out in the air, as it were, but under cover. So right, I'll make that do, I think, because it's going to probably spread more anyway. It's going to take a long time to dry, so this is this will be the first bit, and then we'll get on and do the stitching probably tomorrow, actually. It's going to take a while. But yeah, that should be interesting water, don't you think? Does it need more blue? I don't know. I've got this really dark ink, calligraphy ink. We'll try a drop. Got a little brush there. I don't really want to touch this. I'll be honest with you. Right, let's just see if I can get that cardboard off. I picked it up in a charity shop yonks ago. It's not going to come off easy, is it? Of course it's not. I'm going to get a palette knife. Yeah, I really don't want to touch it because it's, oh, see, already. I'm going to do this off screen. Hang on. Right, are you going to go through? Yeah, got it. Oh, so much for keeping clean, eh, Suze? What's new? I'm thinking I'm going to need very tiny bits of this. Here goes nothing. It's quite nice actually. It's especially nice when it runs. Just slosh the water around a bit. Quite nice. Quite nice. And a little bit more. Break up that green a little bit as well. Looks like we've got a pond of algae otherwise. It's the water running through it. It's mesmerising, isn't it? Yeah, I'm glad I've done two. I like this one. This one's over wet it, I think. I don't know. It's all right, isn't it? Right. No more, Susan. Stop. Okay. I'm going to go wash my hands because I managed to make myself nice and blue. Look like a smurf at the moment. Lovely. Just going to put some more deliberate drops of green in. I say they'll make fantastic lilies. Lily leaves. So we can try and embroider a little lily flower. Don't know how, mind, thinking about it, but I'm sure we'll work something out. Right, okay, again, stop. Right, okay, cool. Right, that's going to need a long time to dry, probably till tomorrow. I'm going to tip out the rest of the water that I can, I think, and then, because there's quite a puddle down here, but yeah, it should be alright, shouldn't it? See how it goes. Right, catch up with you when it's all dry. Bye. Right, the fabric's dry. words. Okay, so I've had to do two because my little stitching project that I'm doing on my own, I want to do a pond here as well. So I'm just trying to decide which one I want to use where. It's quite dark. Quite like that one there actually. Right, so yeah, okay, choice made. So I'm contemplating, sorry, Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. I think it's, yeah, I'll link it to the other one where I say all that anyway. Sorry, it's the next day. I've forgotten what I said. I'm contemplating taking the path off and making like a bridge. It's not going to be this big because that's way too big. I think what I'll do is I'll fold that up there out of the way for now. Maybe we'll have a little bit of path coming down, and then it can join, you know, like a Japanese bridge, Japanese garden, which I've always wanted, always wanted. Right, okay, let's draw a pond. Come on, Susan, words, use them. Okay, I'll tell you what, over there, I'm trying to mirror what I see up here with my laptop. I think I've got it working, but it's sideways on the laptop because I keep going out of frame and it drives me bonkers, so it must drive you bonkers too. If I run out of LEDs. No. Right. Okay. Right, come on, think. So, maybe I'll just kind of round it there, and then so if I'll need to chop it there and chop it there. And what should we have? Let's have it coming. Look like a bit of shape to it, basically. Sorry, I'm not using language today, obviously. That might be a bit big actually. It's come down here a bit. That'll do. Anyway, I hope you're all having a good day. It's actually turned out bright and sunny today. It was tipping it down yesterday for nearly the whole day. So these inks have worked rather well, I think, anyway. That's the Seth Apter inks. As you saw. It has made the fabric quite stiff, but you know, acrylic paint has exactly the same effect. So, and in this case, it's a bonus. You'll be pleased to know I haven't got a single thread ready. Oh, it's so good here, isn't it? I've been faffing around with that blooming computer. Computers do my head in. I mean, it's probably really simple what I want to do. Can I work it out? No. Ugh. I wish I was a bit more IT literate, but I'm not, sadly. And that's a generational thing, isn't it? Let's see if we can decide what we want to do here. So, right, so that needs to... I'm going to do it. I'm going to go for a bridge. That'll do, won't it? Yeah. Executive decision made. Oh, it's still quite light to go through, so that's all good. Right. So first job is to get these stitched down, because I've just remembered I have not stitched those down. So we shall do that. And then we'll decide what else we're going to do, because I haven't got a clue at the moment. Thread. That'll do. I don't know if you watch Lizzie Curtis. She's starting a new... I was going to say campaign, but it's not really. She's asked those of us that do sewing. I can actually see what I'm doing here. Sewing demonstrations and that kind of thing. She was going on about floss tube and how, you know, huge that is and all the rest of it. And that is mainly for cross stitching and stuff. I've never watched it, I've got to be honest with you, so I don't quite know what is on there, but she has suggested that us stitchers start something called sewing tube. So put it in the title and then put what you're sewing, basically. And I thought, okay, we'll give that a go. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, if you start seeing that strange title, I probably won't do it on, I don't know, will I do it on this kind of thing? Probably not, because this is, like, you know, Roxy's project, isn't it? So but you know, when I upload my own little demos, I might start putting that in the title, because she said, you know, apparently, again, I've not watched it, but apparently a lot of people just put in the search bar floss tube and it comes up with all the creators feeding into that. I don't understand some of this stuff, I really don't, but I'm going to give it a whirl anyway, basically. I have uploaded, or I will be, it's uploaded, I just haven't made it live, a English paper pieced pin cushion, which I will grab in a moment. Let me just get this stitched on. So I might start using sewing tube in the title there. It's not a hashtag, because I thought, oh, if it's hashtag, that's easy, isn't it? But no. So yeah, you might see a few of those start popping up. And the idea of it is, like Lizzie said, what you do is in the search bar on YouTube, you just type in sewing tube and it will bring up everybody that, I can't think how to describe it. So if you use the term sewing tube as the first part of your title, apparently if you then search for that, if somebody else searches for that on YouTube, all the channels that use that will come up. I don't know. I don't understand. I've got to sit here and say I ain't got a clue. So we'll give it a go and we'll see if it makes any difference. Oh, it probably won't, but you know. The trouble is, I am lazy. Lazy. I don't know. I'm just not very good at doing things like linking stuff to Instagram that I do and Facebook and stuff like that. I'm not social media driven. I think that's the only way that I can term it. And I know I need to be, because, you know, that's how you get your name out there, sort of thing, you know. But oh, I don't know, it's a bit of a faff. And you know, I'm not looking to get 1 million subscribers. I'm quite happy with the 3,000 I've got. But you know, if it gets it out there, then that's fine. I don't know, we'll give it a bash. We'll see what it looks like, if it makes any difference to the channel. Probably not. I like you guys. We're quite happy in our little group here, aren't we? I still haven't got around to answering comments. I am so sorry. I'm going to be a bit more proactive about that. No, don't grab the pins. Oh, this is why we don't use pins. Get off. Right. Yeah. I know a lot of these bigger channels have somebody that does all the social media stuff for them. Yeah. And then that makes life easy, doesn't it? I just never think to do it. I'm not that socially media driven, so social media driven. I really shouldn't talk today. I'm just going to shut up and sew. It's safer. Where did I start? Over there, right. Yeah, I'm hoping it's going to record this all right, actually. I might stop in a minute and just check that it's recorded it, because I say it is mirroring over there. So it should do. I don't see why it wouldn't. Yeah. I try and sort of make myself think that I'm, yeah, I can do that. Yeah. No, you can't, because you don't know what you're doing. I've got terrible cramp today. I've drunk loads. It's not lack of fluids. Right, let's naughtily, very naughtily, run through the back here. Come up here. So yeah, if you are into sewing, there was quite a few people on the live chat. It's the first time I've ever caught a live one, I must admit. I mean, there won't be many on there now, but people that have put in the wording sewing tube. I think we've got to do it all in one word. I don't know, I'll probably get that wrong. I'll put it all in one word. That's the easiest. What I might do actually is search for floss tube and see how they put it on, because that's kind of what she's mirroring. She said she thought about it ages ago, and I thought, oh, I never even gave it a thought, really. Because when I search on something, for speak English, when I search for something, how the heck has that happened? On YouTube, I'm trying to think of for instance, what did I search for? Oh, my laptop bag. I thought, I'm just going to get some, so I just typed in DIY laptop bag or something like that, and it came up with all these channels that show you how to sew a laptop bag. So, that's the way I've always done it. But then I guess that her idea is that, if you want to sew something, you just type in that, and then you'll get videos where people just sew. I don't know. We'll give it a go. I'm not even going to pretend I understand it, because I don't. I'm talking very quietly. I do apologise. Oh, mamma mia. Oh, getting that a lot lately. I don't know what that is. Cramp in my hands. I say it's not fluids. I'm getting very good at drinking lots of water. Means you constantly run into the loo, unfortunately, but oh, sorry. Oh, cramp second. Oh, wow. I think I held it too tight. It's not going to run away, Susan. Release the pressure. Oh, what's so painful, isn't it, cramp? Mind you, I've been doing a lot of sewing. That's probably hand sewing in particular. Let me show you that. You might want to do one. I don't know. Yeah, it's a bit of English paper piecing. I made this little pincushion basically with a standy up bit for your clips if you're a machine sewer as well. But it's all hand stitched, and that's probably why I'm getting cramped, because I did this yesterday. But it's a nice English paper piece project. I'll give you the details on where to get the patterns and that. So yeah, it's cool. And that could be why I'm experiencing cramp at the moment. Could be. I'm glad you like my little sunflowers. They were just a spur of the moment thing, they were. Yeah, I'm really chuffed that they worked. So, just trying to think what pond plants I'm going to do. I'm going to do, I think, a lily. You know, like lily pads. I think that'll look pretty. Maybe some goldfish. I've no idea how I'm going to do some goldfish. Or koi carp. There you go. Would be posh. I've always wanted a Japanese garden, you know, with all the pretty plants and a little bridge over the pond and what have you. Yeah, bit of a bucket list item, I suppose. Go away. Nearly there, nearly there. I'll get on with this here pond, or a fountain if you've marched ahead and done a pond already, which a lot of people have. There was one I watched the other day and she'd done a pond, and I thought, oh, you're rushing ahead. But you know, each their own. Whatever. As we've discussed before, I don't have a lot of time to be rushing ahead. I just stick to the prompts. It's enough for me. I guess if you've got all day. Right, that's those on. Let's rip out this basting. Sorry, words, not finishing sentences. Right. It's quite nice to check that I'm staying in screen. The only trouble is it's orientated to its side, so it looks a bit odd, but at least I can check. Okay, why don't you want to come out then? There we are. Blimey, that was strong thread. Cool, right. I'm just going to double check this is recording all right before I carry on, because we're going to do the pondies. Oh, heck, these are all my needles. Right, I'll just pause you for a second. Let me make sure this is recorded properly, and then we will crack on with our pond. Right, that recorded okay. I'm so sorry. I've just watched part of that and I didn't half ramble on, didn't I? Social media this, social media that. Salmon tube this, me. Yeah, okay, right, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. So, I've threaded up anchor. I love this one. It's 1216. I've actually got it in the skein, but I've also picked it up in the perlé, and it's an 8 weight, so it's lovely. I love this variegated green. I've also pulled out this newer one for me, which is 1355. Again, it's an anchor perlé 8 weight. It's got blue in it, but I'm thinking that might be all right. So I can't really decide what I'm going to do, I'll be fair. I want to do greenery around the pond, obviously. Let's chop that back a bit. Although actually it ought to be rocks and things, didn't it? Oh, I don't know. I didn't think about this before I started. What can I use for rocks? So organised today. Oh my lordy. I'll tell you what, we'll just do... Right, let me pause and grab some bits. Sorry, I'm very discombobulated today. Back in a sec. Right, got some felt. I thought felt would be good because you haven't got to worry about it fraying on you. Yes, sorry about the rambling. I am in full-on ramble mode today, obviously. So let me just cut some squiggly lines here. Let's do some rocks. It's just scraps, these are. You can see in this. Let me see what you're seeing. Stay. We'll have some green mossy ones as well. It's just fun, isn't it? Watching me cut bits of felt. Oh dear. A nice sort of morning, well, morning until late afternoon out with my youngest one. She there was a thing come up on Facebook. There was a shop shutting down, and she said, "Oh, do you fancy going and having a look and see what they've got?" And I thought, well, I don't need anything, but we'll go and have a look anyway. And it was more furniture and stuff, but I thought, I kind of got the feeling she wanted a bit of company, you know. They don't always come out and say it, but so anyway, off we toddled. And well, the shop was a disaster. It was, yeah, it was very overpriced. I thought, well, no wonder you're closing, love, because, you know, where they were, it is a seaside town called Paynton, which is not the most affluent of areas, shall we say. And her prices were quite high. Anyway, so that was a disaster. So we got in the car and she said, "What do you fancy doing?" And I really, I don't mind. I'm open to options. So we went to the furnishing store called Dunelm, which is here in the UK, and they do, well, they do all sorts actually. Anyway, I picked up a nice new bedspread. There's excitement for you, for my bedroom, which I still haven't got around to painting. Oh, but yeah, got that. And they had a big sale on, actually, if you're in the UK and you like brushed cotton sheets, go to Dunelm. They're having a huge sale on them. So see, glad you tuned in now, aren't you? Oh. Yeah, and then we went to Aldi and got some, because I said to her, I know it's cheeky, I said, but do you mind if we stop there on the way back, because I need to get milk, because I was completely out. So she said, no, it's fine. So we went in there and had a mooch, like you do. So yeah, she's a funny kid. She's lovely, but funny. trying to think what I did yesterday. Oh, yeah, my daughter, the dog walker, she's she can't walk the dogs on Tuesday. I won't go into the reasons why, they're her reasons, but anyway, so she's like, oh, it's just 2, would you mind doing them? I'm like, oh, flipping heck. I'm supposed to be working. I mean, lucky I've got really understanding colleagues that, you know. So yeah, so Tuesday I shall be walking Max and Ollie, which is fine. They're very good dogs, actually. I said to her, I'm not taking out a whole bunch. I said, I don't mind doing the big ones. And she went, no, it's fine. So that'll be Tuesday. Good old mum. Makes you wonder what they do without us sometimes. Little darlings. Cutting all these rocks, and I've got to sew them all on next, haven't I? Never mind. Something to do. Let's stay. I might use my glue pen and stick those down quite well. Need a longer one now. And we'll stitch some pond plants in there. What do you reckon? Seems alright. That'll do. Cool. Right. Where is my glue pen? Where's my needle book? That's where the glue pen is. There. Hiding. Because otherwise there's going to be about a bajillion pins, and you know me and pins, we don't get on terribly well. Right, sorry, my head might get under the screen here. Kind of like that layout, so I don't really want to disturb it too much. Yes, you can do great big basting stitches, but again, this will all move if I do that. I've not thought how I'm going to stitch them down. You don't need much of this glue, just a little blob. This is a Bowen glue pen, by the way, if you are new here. It's one that I use quite a lot. Okay, everybody stuck. You need to go that way a bit. Righto. Now then, I can attack this in one of 2 ways. I might do kind of like almost like stab stitches to do a dual purpose of holding the background and that on, so just come up with lots of, I think I might do that. Just make that stay there. Right, okay, right, this is going to be really boring, so I apologise in advance. I'm just going to come out of the water and up there. Just going to do them quite roughly at first, all the way round, and then we'll fill in a bit more detail. Just want to get these secured. Is there anything else I've been doing? Not really. Found a new YouTuber that I've thoroughly enjoyed watching, and you might too. She's called Annie Luxton. I'll put a link down below. She does all sorts. And that's my kind of thing that I like to watch. You're falling off. This will look pants. They always look a disaster until you've actually fill in the detail. And that does not help, thank you. Quite like the way that moved, so I'll leave that there. Yeah, Annie is doing oh god, what does she call it? It's a little quilting project, but it's all hand stitched. So if you're into hand stitching, you might want to go and check it out. Little tiny squares. Oh, you're getting on my nerves. Out. I can't for the life of me think what it's blooming called. Oh my lordy, my memory. Yeah, she did another thing as well, which was making like a little mixed media-y type book thing, which I really liked. So that'll be another project, because we haven't got many going on at the moment. I might get this secured on and then call it a video, because the one before this was a little bit long, where I was actually dyeing the fabric, so and I don't want to make these horrendously long videos. Because this is the non-exciting stage at the moment. Just get that secured down. Do not pop off. Stay. I have a hill. Definitely a book type one next time. This floppy bit down here is driving me bonkers, which I think I've told you before. I think this will look alright. We'll just turn it into vegetation, I think. It's probably the easiest way. We're going to have some bulrushes. I know it's not really, it's more of a wild pond plant, but I do like a bulrush. And definitely lily pads. I'll see how long this has been, and then I do a lily pad. Thinking satin stitch would be probably the easiest way to get that to look proper. pin in there. Just going to vary the length of the stitches, and then we can have some, oh, some irises would be good as well. We're putting some irises. Actually got some of those out in my garden at the moment, which is unusual. Everything's so late this year. I mean, it's middle of April, well, nearly the end of April, and it's yeah, the veggies are struggling at the moment. We've just not had the temperatures to make them. I mean, they're growing. I've actually got flowers on my tomatoes. We are quite mild in the southwest with our weather, but we are behind. So I know when I moved to Scotland and I tried to grow veggies up there, it was quite a shock to the system actually, because you get so used to your own local climate, and then we went up there for a couple of years and it was like, oh, you can't plant anything out until July. What? So yeah, it's a bit of a shock. Right, so that's really roughly down, but that's fine, we can work on that now. Just look at that, just talk about thread chicken. I'll do. Okay. I'll keep going for a bit longer, I think, because that's only 17 minutes. Are you in screen? Right, would you stop flopping? There. I quite like that. It's all right now. I don't know where my bridge is going to go. It's going to come across here. I'm not going to do anything. Do you know what I think I might do is make it out of what did I do with that bag of felt? Let's see if I've got some sort of brown woody bits. This is my scrap bag. If I just do sort of like planks going across, what do you reckon? Right. More browns. No, of course not. Oh, you're a slightly different colour. That'll be good. Oh, I've got a hiccup. Excuse me. Oh, do you know? No, we'll do planks. I was just thinking we could do stepping stones, but no. Although that would be pretty cool. Right, that'll do. We're only building a little bridge. Okay. Maybe we'll concentrate on getting that in, and then I'll just shove it all over there. Stay. Okay. Right. I don't know what size to do. Let's get some scissors. Come on, brain. About that wide would be all right. They're not going to be perfect, but you know, life isn't, people. Come a little bit wider, maybe. way to use your scraps. Just a very slightly different tone, this one. Cut a few and then I can make my choice from them. I'll say these are only scraps, I'm not worried that I'm using. I don't think that colour is going to go. It is a perfect width, mind. Let's put a couple in. Just to give it a little bit of depth. Right, that's more than enough. Stop cutting. Okay. So we'll start from here. And then this is why I don't worry too much about, you know, I end up covering a lot of my stuff. I'll have a windy path. Yeah, because they have those, you can get them where they're just slightly risen up, can't you, as well, these bridges. I don't think I'm going to put that in. No. If I do colour, I'll, or shade, I'll do it in stitching as opposed to, what do you think? What's that look like? Oh, not too bad actually, does it? And if I just link it all together with chain stitch, in real life it'd be very rickety. I've been told to stop doing real life, so I'm going to. I might just pin that down. It's going to drive me insane, but I think I will. I've lost half my pond, but maybe I ought to put my fish on first. No, they can be over there, can't they? And then vegetation coming out here. No, they'll be fine. I'll never get this pattern again if I don't pin it down now. And I'm liking it, basically. I might be good and tack these, actually. Because those pins are going to drive me mad. I'll just do a big tacking stitch. Just to hold them while I decide what I'm going to do with stitching. Oh, you're going to stay. I'm going to start on top. Can I sew with my left hand? Probably not. As I've never tried. Try not to disturb these. Come on. Very sore, stiff hands today. Did a lot of, well, I showed you, did a lot of hand sewing yesterday. As I'm rubbish at sewing with my left, I will just do this. This is not a safe walkway. I'd manage that. Just big steps. Stop worrying about it. Stop worrying about it. Oh, come on. See, I've moved it already. I'll do. And that way I can pick this up without everything falling off, because that's the part that really annoys me. So should I do it that way? No, I think that way. Completely losing that grey rock, but never mind. Ouch. Right, that's it. Everything is solid now. Well, ish. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, folks, because when I add this to the other one, it would be quite a long video. So, yeah, so dyed background. You saw the felt rocks forming. So I think what I'll plan to do is, I don't know, come in with some other, definitely do some little lily pads there, and maybe one here coming up on here, and you know, just scatter them around. And then I really fancy doing some bulrushes, so they can come up here with a bullion knot top. They look great. So yeah, I think we'll do some of that, and then think about how I'm going to do some fishies. I think I quite fancy one sort of swimming under there, and then join this together. Mind you, you can get Japanese gardens where these are sort of like in the pond, can't you? Look at me going literal again. Okay, I shall stop there, stop waffling in your ear, and I'm sorry about all the waffle earlier. So you know what it's like here. Yeah, I'll come back with another video when we do some proper embroidery and stuff. Alright, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.